This is Sensei Michael on Singapore Mathematics. So today we're looking at a question which could have come out in primary 3 or 4 paper, or even in a primary 5 or 6 paper. And I'm going to show you how at these two grade levels we will usually approach this question. At primary 3 and 4, our students are using model drawing. So when they look at this question, they will attempt to draw a model that can be compared with each other, or what we call a comparison model. So using a comparison model, we are actually able to solve this question. This question, interestingly, has a part on average. So the fact that there's this average means that it's essentially a primary 5 and 6 question, because before then they wouldn't learn average. But I'm going to show both of these ways of solving this question. So as usual, every time we read a question, we ask ourselves, what do we know, what we can find out, and what is the same or hasn't changed. So let's read the question. Tom, Mandy, and Keith shared a sum of money. A lot of students are going to go, "Ooh, 3%, I just divide by 3. No, the question doesn't tell you that they shared equally. In fact, the next sentence tells us that Keith received 3 times as much money as Mandy. So this should allow us to draw a model already that compares Keith to Mandy. So in this case, Mandy will be 1 box. And Keith, that is 3 times as much as Mandy, would be about 3 boxes. So as you can see, it's really not easy to draw the boxes. That's why many students have turned to stencils. But it wastes quite a lot of time in the exam. So we will always say, as long as the proportion is already there, we really don't care if how ugly or how nice your model look. And then finally, okay, Keith received $6 less than Tom, which means Tom is more money. More by how much? More by another $6. So we put another plus 6 to show that there is another $6 more. Okay, so this unit is different from the rest. So in some cases, some of my students would choose not to even draw this box, but to put a plus 6 if they are able to understand. So we also know that Keith receives $18. So in other words, this 3 block is 18. So in other words, the 3 blocks, the 3 units is the same as 18. Remember, we're always asking ourselves, what is the same? So in this case, we can tell that the 3 units is the same as 18. So therefore, 1 unit must be 18 divided by 3 or 6. So once we know what 1 unit is, we can essentially find out what is the total amount of money. The average requires you to find the total divided by the number of entities, number of people, number of whoever is doing this. So from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we have 7 units plus another 6. Okay, so 7 units, 6 times 7, 42. 42 add another 6 will be 48. And this is the total. And to find the average, there are 3 of them. 48 divided by 3 will be 16. And this will be our answer. Now, a student who does this question at primary 5 and 6, a higher level student, will not bother to draw the model. Instead, they will start to think in terms of ratio. They know that Mandy is 1 unit. Keith received 3 times. So using ratio, Keith 3 times means Keith will have to be 3 units. And Keith is $6 less than Tom's, which means Tom must be 3 units plus another 6. And we know that Keith is $18. So this thing is 18. So again, same thing, except this time the student didn't draw a model at all, but just based on the ratio to each other. So he understands that 3 units is the same as 18. Remember, we're always trying to find out what is the same. So once you know that 3 unit is 18, well, the working is exactly the same here. But the way the thinking process that the student go through are different depending on whether the student is using models from primary 3 and 4 or using ratios from primary 5 and 6. And so this is Sensei Michael with another question from Singapore Mathematics.